You go turn the lights on. Yeah. That's work. Well, that's work. Yeah.
So DS5 is Toby Shue and Aaron Hughes.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure. And after several nights, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which has done this before. Well, something is going to happen to me, but I don't know what it's going to be. Then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. Finally, you would dream where you are now.
DS5 is actually retitled Zone 5 Institute. We decided to call ourselves a zone because we were an area of influence slightly separate to the rest of the studio system. This was a methodology that we talked about with David Green about 4 years ago in a studio called DIP 7 at the Architectural Association. We were interested in moving images, we were interested in a series of statements. One of the statements that's very important is design is a behaviour, not a body of knowledge. We encourage our students to behave in certain ways to inform their design process. We would like you to work as a design studio within a zone. So we set up a field trip which takes you to a party island in off-season, where we can book an expensive villa and get you all to work together making food, exploring the island, and generally getting to know each other's architectural agendas. We have some key concepts. Information is subject to change, exchange and search. We not usually value information. We're interested in low culture, Generation Y, Generation Z, and millennials and the connected individual. Within the studio, you'll be able to develop your own methodologies. And what I want to do is show you some previous portfolios that describe a little bit of the kind of diversity of work that we have. This is a proposal from Mando Moretti a couple of years ago, where she took an interest in water and the conditions of water between Esvedra and Ibiza, and called the project Tombola, which is a small piece of land between two islands. And this developed into quite a complex project of pools and structures, and ended up in a Garden of Eden. This year we're really interested in the potentials of virtual reality and virtual reality space. And we have an HTC Vive that's available to the studio to play around with. We argue that virtual reality is not actually virtual, but a new type of reality. Something that can be occupied by the architect, and new forms and methodologies to develop within it. We're keen to work with you on what your interest in architecture is, but you must come to the studio with an interest. You must come to the studio with an agenda. We set a series of tasks at the beginning of the year that enable you to work with your colleagues, to produce video and moving images, and to work out what you love and hate about architecture. And then we work with those concepts to develop a design project with you. So each and every student has a completely different project, ranging from the hyper-digital virtual reality of Owen's project, who was in the studio a couple of years ago and was the consultant last year, to much more carefully, well not carefully, sorry, hand-drawn, hand-painted objects like Austin's project from a few years ago in this portfolio. There's a QR code that you can scan, here, if you would like to. I'll leave it up at the end of the thing, which brings you to this landing page. And the landing page is a whole series of bits of information about the previous zones. So first of all, and most importantly, are the zone blogs from the previous years. These will give you an idea of the kind of things that the studio was interested in the past, but not necessarily in the future. We asked the studio to generate their own blogs and also contribute to the zone blog continuously. I'll wait for that to load. Also here, you'll find last year's Zone 5 Expo. There's all of the work from previous years, and a video of that work as well, which is worth going to have a look at if you want to. And if you click on this link here, there's a short video that plays, so we haven't got time to play now, which explains the genesis of the zone, how it was worked out by David Green, Samantha Harrington, myself, some 3 or 4 years ago. So we're in our 4th year. This year we've got Ronnie McLennan as a consultant rather than as a second tutor, and Owen stepping into the second tutor role, mainly because he's got loads of good digital skills, he knows what he's talking about, and he's been through the zone process as well. So you can look at those at your leisure. We'll share the link at the end. I'm going to pass quickly across to Owen, who will tell you about himself and what he does.
Yeah, so you probably all know Toby, but you won't know who I am. So this is Practice I'm working at. It's in London. Cool Shoe Broughton Architects, and